So, you'll want a professional finished look to your hems and top stitches, but a cover stitch machine is way out of budget. Well, never fear, the twin needles are here. Hello, I'm Allie, the literary sewist. Here in my crafting castle, I normally create projects inspired by the books I read. Today in this video, I'm going to be giving you my best tips and tricks for using a twin needle on any of your sewing projects. Let me show you how easy it is. If this is your first time using a twin needle, be sure to stick around for the end for bonus pro tips that I wish I knew before my first time. So why twin needles? They create what's called a cover stitch. It's the hem that you see on ready-to-wear clothing with two parallel lines. A cover stitch is perfect for knits because the zigzag on the back of the hem stretches, so if you do not have to worry about the breakage. Plus, not only does this provide a nice professional-looking finished hem, but twin needles are also less expensive and take up less space than a full-size cover stitch machine. Don't get me wrong, if you can afford one and have the space, definitely get yourself one. But in the meantime, twin needles will get the job done beautifully. Just like normal needles, twin needles do come in different sizes and different spacing. Universal and stretch are the most common. You can always check a needle use chart for reference before starting your project. I'll make sure there's links in the description for you. There are also options for different widths, so you can adjust based on the look you're going for or the size of the garment you're working on. Twin needles share a shank, so they will be installed the same way as a normal needle. For most machines, this will be with the flat side of the shank to the back. Some sewing machines do have a button for using a twin needle. This is primarily seen on digital machines for use with decorative stitches. Check your manual if you aren't 100% sure what settings your machine will need. You will need 2 spools of thread. Place them on separate spool pins. If you do not have 2 spool pins, you can use a standalone thread holder. Or even 2 filled bobbins on a single spool pin. Thread the left needle first, then the right needle through the same path, skipping the final guide above the needle. Install your bobbin as normal. Although the bobbin gives you a zigzag, keep your setting on the straight stitch. Use longer stitches than you would normally use for a straight stitch hem. Increase the tension, usually +2 to +3, but this can vary based on the fabric content. Make sure you're using a presser foot with a wide enough opening for both the needles to go through. A zigzag foot, a wide foot, or a decorative stitch foot should do the trick. If you have one, a walking foot is an excellent option too, although I will not be demonstrating the walking foot for this video. Most people hem with the wrong side up, but with twin needles, you need to sew with the right side up. This takes getting used to, because it's a bit like sewing blindfolded, so try guiding the fabric while feeling the edge of your hem underneath. Use your seam allowance guide to keep your stitching even. This is what you want it to look like, parallel straight lines on top with a zigzag on the back. The top should be flat with no bunching or tunneling. Always do a test run with a scrap of fabric from the fabric you're sewing, so you can make any adjustments before sewing on your final garment. If the zigzag on the back is too tight or in a straight line, you'll want to adjust the tension up or down until the stitching is flat. If you have a serger, finish the edges before you fold up the hem. This will give the hem weight and look even more professional. Just hem with the twin needles over the serged edges. If you're using a specific color of thread that isn't one you will use often, you can buy one spool and fill a second bobbin to use as the second thread on top. This will minimize the number of thread spools you have lying around. If your hem looks wavy when you're done, and your fabric will allow it, steam press it back into shape. Add interfacing or hem tape to help stabilize the fabric. Wash away interfacing and hem tape will disappear after the first wash, so it doesn't change the texture of the fabric, and you'll end up with a very even stitch. Alright, let me know if you're ready to use a twin needle by giving this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to assist you. Now head on over here for even more sewing tutorials and ideas that'll help you get started on your next project. And be sure to subscribe to this channel for future installments of my bookish sewing goodness. If you ring the bell, they'll notify you every time there's a new video uploaded. See you next time!